As the world prepares to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, many of those who experienced that day say it will forever be with them. All week long, we are sharing their stories. Tonight, WCNC Charlotte's Tanya Mendes introduces us to 3 local teachers who were at school with their students when the first plane hit the World Trade Center.
8:45 in the morning.
I was sitting in that exact chair right there.
The school day was just getting started.
If I remember my blocks right, it was like first, second block.
When all of a sudden, in history classrooms all across the Carolinas, history played out in real time.
The teacher came running up the hallway and said, "Turn on the TV, we've been attacked."
At that point, you're like, what has happened?
The lessons of the day were canceled as Robert Brown's AP history class sat transfixed on what they saw on their screen.
And we kept watching and kept watching, and it wasn't 10 minutes later when the second one hit. It was almost a collective.
In Daniel Bryant's classroom in Kannapolis, they watched until there were just some things that children shouldn't see. Meanwhile, in Hickory, Drew Daniels didn't have a television in his classroom. He kept up with what was happening by checking news websites and then made the impossible decision.
I told him, I don't know if that was the right decision or not.
Innocence and so much more lost. In that moment, Daniels became more than their teacher.
There was some fear. I remember students asking, do you think we're safe?
Brown says he and the students he was with still have a bond to this very day.
It is a touchstone that we all have in common is, we saw this together, we experienced this together, and we had to figure it out together.
For years, none of them could teach 9/11 without it all coming back for them and for the students. But as the years went by,
these students weren't alive 20 years ago. They have no memory of it.
It stopped being a shared grief.
With this generation, they're so far removed from it, it doesn't register.
The newest chapter in a history book for the students today, the darkest chapter in modern history for the teachers.
For me, it's still personal.
Which is why, with all of the pictures of all of the historical moments in time in Drew Daniels' classroom, 9/11 isn't there on that wall. Not ready to let it be another picture of the past. Not ready to forget what he lived.
I can remember what I was wearing that day.
For WCNC Charlotte, I'm Tanya Mendes.
Wow.
Just a lot in that piece that I feel like, resonates with folks who, remember where they were that day and the decisions too. Like, I can't imagine having to be a teacher and decide, do I will the TV in and show the class, or do we just not tell them what's happening? I mean, that's a tough decision.
A lot of decisions to be made, a lot of feelings to sort through, and I just remember it being a Tuesday and it being a very long week of just wondering what we're in for because we'd never seen anything like that in our lifetime.
A lot of emotions,
Yeah.
a lot of emotions.